The Young and the Restless spoilers recap Wednesday full, the 12th of August, 2026. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today is Wednesday, an absolutely beautiful day outside, but inside things are getting incredibly dark and dramatic in Genoa City. We have a massive episode to break down today, so grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's dive right into the absolute madness that just unfolded on our screens. I cannot believe they actually did that. I am literally typing this up late at night, staring at my screen in absolute shock, because what they just did with Nick Newman is insane. I mean, I have been watching since 2015, and this is by far the darkest, most twisted, and most emotionally devastating thing they have done with his character in years. I am shaking just thinking about it. My heart is physically hurting for him right now. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Reacting before explaining, typical me. Let's talk about that nightmare. That absolute horror show of a fentanyl-induced fever dream that Nick had in that dingy, disgusting motel room. Matt Clark dragging Nick through a twisted psychological tour of the lives he is going to ruin because of his addiction. I was sitting on my couch, literally screaming at the TV, because it wasn't just a dream. It was a complete and total psychological dismantling of Nick Newman's entire soul. And seeing Sharon passed out on a table at the Shadow Room, oh my God, that hit so incredibly hard. Nick walks into this dark, neon-lit club in his subconscious, and the love of his life, the mother of his children, is just lying there, completely destroyed because of him. And then Mariah is there, screaming at him, telling him to stay away from her mother. She tells him that he caused this by convincing Sharon to take the pills. The guilt that Nick is carrying is just eating him alive from the inside out. But then it gets worse, because Mariah suddenly morphs into Cassie. I'm not Mariah, I'm Cassie. I literally gasped out loud. Remember when they tried to play with Cassie's ghost years ago? Yeah, didn't work then either. It just felt a little cheesy. But this was visceral. It dug right into Nick's deepest, most unhealed trauma. Cassie asking him, "Who are you? What happened to you? Did my death mean nothing to you?" I mean, the writers absolutely understood the assignment here. Nick's ultimate fear is that he is dishonoring Cassie's memory by becoming a monster. So then he crashes the car in the dream, and suddenly Chelsea and Adam are screaming at him that he killed Connor because little Connor found his drug stash and died. I know some people are loving this dark, gritty Nick era, but personally it is almost too hard to watch. It is so incredibly heavy, but it is also brilliant storytelling, because it shows exactly what Nick's subconscious is terrified of. He genuinely believes that he ruins everything and everyone he touches. He thinks his addiction is a lethal weapon that is going to take out his entire family. But the part that really got me, the part that made me want to throw my remote control at the television screen, Victor and Nikki, because, of course, Victor uses Nick's addiction to blame him for the family falling apart. In the dream, Nikki takes a double shot of vodka right in front of him and says, "If it's good enough for you, it's good enough for me." And Victor stands there, looking down his nose, calling Nick a disgrace. Victor tells him that he destroyed the whole family and that he and Nikki are separated again because of what Nick has become. Am I the only one who thinks this dream proves that Nick finally truly sees Victor for the monster he is? Deep down, Nick knows his father is a terrible, toxic man. Victor has always demanded absolute perfection from his children, and the second they stumble, he weaponizes their pain against them. Nick knows he cannot count on Victor to get out of this downward spiral, because Victor doesn't rescue you to save you, he rescues you to own you. Nick realizes that if he wants to survive this, everything is entirely up to him. Okay, back to the point. Let's talk about what happens when he actually wakes up from this living hell. He wakes up in that gross motel room, sweating and terrified. And who is at the door? Marie Kirkland, the neighbor. And what do? They don't go to rehab. They don't call for help. They take drugs, they get high, and they sleep together. I'm sorry, but Nick has officially hit rock bottom. He had the out. He had the ultimate wake-up call with that dream, and he still chose the drug. It is so utterly tragic. I mean, think about it. Nick has always been the golden boy. He has always been the moral compass compared to Adam's dark, twisted antics. But this storyline is completely shattering that illusion into a million pieces. And honestly, I'm kind of here for it. I kind of want to see him lose absolutely everything so he can finally rebuild his life without Victor's massive, suffocating shadow looming over him. But God, it is so painful to witness him throwing his life away with some random addict he just met. And let's just talk about Marie for a second. Who even is this woman? She just happens to be in the next room, hears him screaming, and her first instinct is to share her stash with him. She is the ultimate enabler, and she is going to drag Nick down so far into the mud that I don't know if he will ever be able to climb back out. I am dreading what comes next for him, but I also cannot look away. It is like a train wreck in slow motion. Wait, I need to take a breath, because if I keep talking about Nick, I am going to start crying again. Let's pivot to the other massive disaster happening in Genoa City right now. Billy Abbott, and we talk about this because Billy Abbott is literally the most exhausting character on daytime television. I cannot with him anymore. I am so sick and tired of his endless cycles of self-destruction and sabotage. So Billy is throwing yet another childish tantrum, scheming and plotting because he just cannot stand peace. After everything Jack and Diane just went through with Patty Williams and Dr. Lawrence Markham, I mean, Jack was literally almost killed. Diane was kidnapped, held hostage, and severely traumatized. They just want to end the endless war with Victor. They want peace. They want to heal. They want to just live their lives without constantly looking over their shoulders for the next Newman attack. But no, Billy doesn't want peace. Billy wants to blow everything up, as usual. He has this brilliant new plan to go after Sally Spectra. Why? Because if it hurts Sally, it hurts Adam, and if it hurts Adam, it hurts Victor. It is so incredibly petty. It is so vindictive, and it is so classic, infuriating Billy Abbott. He doesn't care who gets caught in the crossfire as long as he gets to feel like the smartest guy in the room. He is willing to risk his entire family's safety just to score some cheap points against Adam. And, things are really, really bad when Ken Ashby is the voice of reason. I'm sorry, but since when is Kane the mature one in the room? Kane, the guy who lied about his entire identity for years, but Kane actually looks at Billy's plan and goes, "This is stupid." Kane realizes that Billy is going to drag Chancellor and Jabbo right into the gutter with him. So what does Kane do? He goes straight to the adult in the room. He goes to Jack. Jack finds out about Billy's new scheme from Kane, and you can just see the absolute exhaustion on his face. Jack is tired. We are all tired, Jack. Will Jack actually be able to stop Billy's latest failure before it detonates? Because let's be real, every time Billy tries to play the corporate mastermind, he ends up losing a company, a yacht, or his own dignity. He is a gambler at heart. He doesn't play chess. He rolls the dice, closes his eyes, and prays. Remember when they tried this corporate espionage angle with Billy a few years ago? Yeah, didn't work then either. Billy is obsessed with this dark secret he thinks Jill has buried at Chancellor. He took this job purely to dig up dirt on his own mother. It is so gross. And Kane is sitting there pretending to play nice with Billy, but secretly warning Jack that Billy is a ticking time bomb. I actually love this dynamic. Kane playing the double agent to protect the companies from Billy's ego is the kind of drama I am absolutely here for. Honestly, I kind of feel bad for Diane right now. I never thought I would ever say that in my entire life. But the woman just survived a psycho doctor and Patty Williams. She and Jack agreed to lay down their swords and just be happy. And now Billy is just going to drag them right back into Victor's crosshairs. It's infuriating. If Billy's plan blows up and Victor retaliates against Jack and Diane, I am going to riot. Billy needs to be stopped, and I hope Jack completely shuts him down and kicks him out of the corporate world for good. Okay, moving on, because my blood pressure literally cannot take much more of Billy Abbott's nonsense today. Let's talk about Nate Hastings. Oh my God. Nate, am I the only one who literally laughed out loud at my TV when Nate told Lily he wants to go back to medicine? I mean, seriously? Are we really doing this again? Let's just review Nate's ridiculous career trajectory for a second. Nate used to be this brilliant, highly ethical surgeon. He was the moral center of the hospital. Then he hurt his hand, got mad at Devon, and suddenly decided he was a ruthless, cutthroat, corporate shark. He backstabbed his own family, slept with Victoria Newman to get ahead, schemed with Audra Charles, and played CEO like he was the second coming of Victor Newman. We didn't even know what his actual qualifications were. He just wore really nice, expensive suits and stared intensely at tablets all day. And now, because Devon is leaving the Winters Company to start a nonprofit and focus on his family, Nate is suddenly like, you know what? Corporate life just isn't for me anymore. I want to be a doctor again. Just like that. He sees Devon following his passion, and suddenly Nate's conscience magically grows back. It is so jarring. You cannot just flip a switch and go from a backstabbing corporate raider back to a compassionate, life-saving healer overnight. And Lily just fully supports him. She's like, yeah, go for it. Follow your dreams. I'm a strong businesswoman, and I can run this entire massive conglomerate all by myself. Because, honestly, does it even matter? Does anyone actually care about corporate Nate? No. We want Dr. Nate back. We want the guy who actually cared about saving lives, not the guy who cared about quarterly profits and hostile takeovers. But the whiplash is just crazy to me. I kind of feel like this is the writers realizing they completely messed up his character over the last 2 years, and they are desperately trying to hit the reset button. They realize that nobody liked villain Nate, so they are just pretending that whole phase was a temporary lapse in judgment. And you know what? I will accept it. If it means we get the old Nate back, the one who actually honors his mother Olivia's legacy, then fine. Go put on a stethoscope, Nate. Just please stop trying to steal company. So, yeah, this episode was an absolute lot to process. We have Nick completely destroying his life and his sobriety in a dirty motel with Marie, Billy trying to start World War III because he has a massive, incurable inferiority complex, and Nate deciding to play doctor again after spending years acting like a corporate supervillain. The pacing right now is just insane, and I am so emotionally invested in all of these beautiful, disastrous messes. I keep going back to Nick, though that dream sequence is going to haunt me for weeks. The image of Nikki taking that vodka shot, the image of Cassie asking why her death meant nothing, the image of Victor looking so disgusted, it was chilling. It shows that Nick's addiction isn't just about the drugs. It's about the crushing, unbearable weight of being a Newman. It's about the fear of becoming exactly what Victor says he is, a massive disappointment. I know some people are loving this era of the show, but personally, I am stressed. I am sitting here typing furiously because I just want Nick to get better. I want Billy to sit down, shut up, and go to therapy, and I want Nate to finally pick a career lane and stay in it. But knowing this show, knowing the writers, it's only going to get so much worse before it gets even a little bit better. And you know what? I'll be right here, late at night, watching every single agonizing second of it. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments, because I desperately need to know I am not the only one losing my mind over this.